everyone, thank you for joining me again. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to show you what I've been working on in the garden. So this is the really messy area of my garden. As all of you guys know, I kind of worked my way up from the other side of our garden, which there was nothing here when we arrived. And so literally this is the only area that it's left in a garden that needs to be worked on. So I'm kind of working my way up to this way. So it doesn't look pretty or anything, because all of you guys who garden, you know that takes a lot of work before it looks nice. But I started already kind of making my plans towards this area. And so I kind of have been envisioning to make a kind of close this area, to have a kind of a new area to go into. And you know, being in Europe, I've learned about garden rooms. So, and it's really interesting because they recommend not seeing the entire garden all at one time. It is better to have which they call them garden rooms, where you can go from area to area, and there are new things to discover. And that's why they do lots of curves, etc., because you can see what is on the other side. You kind of have to walk through it to find new areas, and kind of that's where I'm going with this. And so I'm going to create a whole new garden area in this area right here. And so forgive me with my hose, but I have to water here because I'm planting the tree. So as you can see, I purchased 6 little gem magnolias, and I love these magnolias. I'm really excited to have them because I was like, I have so many large trees, I don't know where I can have the trees that I actually want. But a lot of the ones that I really like, they still get really big. So anyway, these magnolias are absolutely gorgeous. They will stay probably for most part evergreen in my area. And that you see the undertone of the underside of the leaves are kind of brown. They have really glossy, beautiful, darkly green on the upper part of their leaves. And anyway, they have large white flowers, and they do bloom throughout the summer as well, which is really nice. So what I want to do is kind of screen this area. So I have 6. I just forgot to mention that. I forgot to mention that these trees, that they're kind of a smaller version of which we, like a southern magnolia, and they grow about 15 to 20 feet high, and they can spread between 7 to 10 feet wide. And so, but when they spread, they spread. You have to count from the center. So if per se it's a 7 feet wide, then you would know about 3.5 feet on each side, and then 3.5 feet on both sides. So that's going to be the how wide it will get. And so, but I am planting them a little closer to each other because what I want them to do is actually kind of intertwine and create a screen. So I don't want them too far apart, so they kind of gets a little denser. And so here, what I've done is I already planted all 5 of them here. So I just placed my arbor, which is kind of still, I'm working on it, but I kind of wanted to find my center where I really wanted the arbor. And then I decided to have these magnolias, and as they grow really tall, what I'm planning on doing, and this is my plan, that doesn't always go everything the way we plan, but we'll see how it goes. We can always change. That's the fun part about the gardening, to create. And so what I'm hoping to do is connect the 2 trees and have basically the kind of an arch. They probably eventually will not see the arch because the trees will create the arch, and I'm hoping to hedge it a little bit where I can have the beautiful white flowers and kind of stay with the evergreen screen here. And then this will be the entrance into the area, which I have other plans to create a garden there. And you can see the our garden slopes, and honestly sloping gardens I love because it brings a really new interest, because looking down, look how beautiful this area is. Like, you have a gorgeous view down there. If it was all flat, I probably would have not had this beautiful area to look at. But on the other hand, it is really difficult to work with, because then it gets really expensive if you have to get the machinery into your garden, trying to flatten areas and make it really symmetric, etc. So, you know, this is a garden where I'm building all by myself, and not, with a big budget or anything. So I don't have, I'm not really doing construction and a major hardscaping here. But what I'm hoping to do is maybe hide some of these areas. So as you can see, the garden kind of slopes down a little bit, and it's not a whole lot, but you can see the definitely slope. So I'm hoping by curving and making gardens, and these trees will eventually be in the center of a garden. So I'm hoping that with all the plants growing in it, eventually will hide the sloping parts of it. But it's going to be incredibly expensive for me to just come and flatten this whole area, which would have been ideal, but not right now. So anyway, but then I'm impatient. I don't want to wait. I want to start gardening, and I love gardening, so I just really want to dive into it. Anyway, so this is what I am working on. Here I already planted at the garden center. They brought beautiful roses. And this is a really great time for us to plant the trees and shrubs, because we have a very rainy season right now. And actually, if you can see, I've been working in the mud. Literally, I was covered in the mud actually. And we get lots of rain. It's a perfect time for the trees and shrubs to get very well established. So if anything I can plant now, it's like they always get established really well by the spring. So this is a good planting time for our area. And there is a rainy season. In the summer it's drought, but after about the end of November we start getting rain all the time, and it's a really good time for us to plant. So anyway, I also have we purchased 4 beautiful hybrid tea roses, and I wanted to show you what they are. You see, I planted 2 here, and then excuse me, 2 here. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and then what I'm seeing, I placed this blocks here because eventually, I think in the spring, if all goes well, what I would like to do is purchase a really nice European style vases, and maybe 1 on each side here. So that's kind of what I'm envisioning, and then to create the gardens around it. So I wanted to show you really quick the roses that I got. They were really, really nice. So this one is orange peach. And I love the peach color. It's always hard to find this particular color. So anyway, I have 2. And then this one was really beautiful. It's a Christopher Columbus rose right here. So this looked interesting. And so I have Christopher Columbus on each side of the arbor, and then orange peach on the outside of the outside of the area. So anyway, right now I'm going to go ahead and plant my last magnolia, and then I have one other thing that I have to do, and I'll show you here in a bit. Let's go ahead and get this done. So I'm going to mix my garden compost, just because again we have a clay soil, and compost always lightens the soil and helps with the drainage, so the water doesn't sit. So I planted this one. We will water in a moment, but I'm going to on the other side because I want to show you what I'm doing right there, and then we'll water both because I'm planting something else. So here in this area, I've planted azaleas, and I planted azaleas just because I have the last one to plant, and look how beautiful this azalea is. Isn't that so beautiful? It's created as a tree form. As you can see, it's kind of like a tree. Okay, so the reason why I decided to plant my azaleas here, because I thought this would be a really nice area. They probably will get about 5 feet tall. And you know, and they will have a nice, you can probably maybe I have to shear and etc. to kind of keep the form this way, but I just love their form, and I think it's going, oh, the car, sorry, it's busy today. Anyway, but it would be really beautiful, because I think it will give that height, and then in the spring having these beautiful blooms, it will just make this area absolutely gorgeous. And then I can plant other things in between as a garden. And also in the summertime, azaleas stay evergreen, which always brings a really nice kind of a green foliage to the garden. So it's beautiful. Anyway, I'm excited, and the reason I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is because at the gardens, at the one of the local stores here, they brought this for very good price. Usually they can get quite expensive, about this size, maybe about 20 euro a piece, and I found them about 6 euro a piece. So I was like, okay, I think this is an opportunity. And I wasn't really planning on starting this garden quite yet, but because I was able to purchase them, I decided I will go ahead and plant them, and then I will treat the soil in between and then decide what I'm going to do next. But you know, sometimes it just happens when you find a good deal and you can't pass it, and you have to, you know, then it gives you a good idea or new idea. You know, this is how I start my garden. I just create it and then continue going. I can, you know, if I have a different idea as I go, I can always, you know, move them in a different spot. So, but for now, I decided to plant them right here. And I do like it. I think it's going to be really pretty. So anyway, this guy I'm going to plant right here. And I forgot also to tell you different colors. So this one is a little salmon-y color. This one is kind of a lighter pink. So I placed the 2 pinks on the back, and then I lined with the salmon colors right this way in the front. So I also wanted to mention that this type of azaleas, where they're trained to be kind of a tree, they will start kind of growing branches on the sides. You just have to make sure to cut them. And normally for alkaline soil, I usually mix with some acidic soil to have them adjust, because obviously azaleas love acidic soil. But this time I didn't do it because I don't have it handy, and I just had my garden compost, and I just decided to go with that this time. But usually that helps. Eventually I probably will just place some acidic soil around it to make sure that, you know, slowly it integrates into the soil and helps them out. But honestly, I don't think it's going to be a problem. So anyway, these are the azaleas, and this is a really beautiful yellow magnolia, and I think as it gets kind of big, we'll give a little bit of a shade here for the azaleas, because they really don't like hot sun. So, and anyway, and I just wanted you to, I'll pick up this here in a second, but I wanted to show you really quick what I've done around here. So I've just planted some pansies here. I kind of widened this area and connected a little more with planted some tulips. I also have been working on this area to make it a little more permanent, which I've decided to go with the rocks, and I really like it this way because birds are really aggressive and they kind of get in and start digging everything out. My containers, I just have some pansies here with a whole bunch of tulips also planted, and then here I have again a whole bunch of tulips with pansies looking really good. This area you guys have seen, so I again have some pansies and tulips growing for the color, and I think in the spring, as pansies start kind of filling in and bulking up, it will look really pretty with the tulips coming out. Also, this circle is looking really good. As you can see, you know, I've made that, and I also just planted some of these edges here because I thought it would be really nice and welcoming when people come in from this side, because this is where our entrance is. When they come in, I thought it would just look really pretty, having some, you know, just pansies here. And you guys, I just wanted to show you that I have narcissus are coming out, daffodils are already out in my area. It's kind of crazy. So anyway, I hope you guys liked what I'm doing, but I just wanted to show you everything that's going on right now. It's, you know, it's a mid-December, but the garden still looks really good. Anyway, if you guys like my video, please don't forget to subscribe. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I will see you in my next video.